national anthem proudly presented by Thackeray Crane, who salutes the national anthem every day for over 70 years. Visit ThackerayCrane.com. Redskins wearing their burgundy jerseys with their white pants. Eagles wearing their white jerseys with their slow green pants. Jake Elliott taking some practice kicks, stroking it from 50 yards out. The coin toss brought to you by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Get 24/7 care and support with the free Horizon Blue app from Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Look for it on the App Store or Google Play. Wireless rates may apply.
The real strength, if there's a strong unit of this entire Washington football team, it's their defensive front. Their D-line, really talented D-line. Matt Ioannidis, you mentioned, out of Temple University. Deron Payne, first-round draft pick out of Alabama.
To week 15
Jonathan Allen. All of these guys are really talented.
You know, the interesting thing, and we'll talk about it after the flip.
Heads, tails, Philadelphia being the visiting team, you would make the call. Heads is the call. It's heads. You win the toss. Philadelphia has won the toss and elected to defer their choice to the second half.
Of course they did.
You know, you talk about the Redskins and their draft choices. Now, this has been an unsuccessful team, but in drafting a guy like Matt Ioannidis, he came in the 5th round out of Temple, and he's been an outstanding player. And then you just mentioned Terry McLaurin. He was a 3rd-round draft choice. A lot of wide receivers drafted ahead of him without near the success he's having as a rookie.
Well, and if you look at the issues that the Eagles may have today with that football team, it's going to be their front and their ability to create pressure. They don't have a stud pass rusher, but they're able to do it. They do a lot of stunning, a lot of slants and different things up front. And the offensive line for the Eagles this week, they spent a little extra time working on that so that they're able to pick up those stunts and blitz the few blitzes that they're going to send. But they have to be in sync there because Deron Payne, Montez Sweat coming off the edge. Montez Sweat has really started to pick it up. They're asking him to do a whole lot more now that Ryan Kerrigan's not playing. That's going to be a big factor, making sure that they block up those guys up front, give Carson time to throw the football, as well as running the ball against this defense.
Steven Sims is the deep man. Opening kickoff brought to you by Ford. Ford F-150 is the only pickup built with high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy cabin bed. Check it out at your local Ford store today.
Well, Steven Sims already has one kick return for a touchdown.
Yeah, 91-yarder.
Yeah, against Detroit just 2-3 weeks ago, he had a big day. Early in the game, he had a big return. And then later in the game, he had one that he was able to take the distance. Very slippery, excellent open field runner. They've got to close down on him and make sure that they wrap him up.
But Elliott usually kicks it out of the end zone. He hits this one. It is high and end over end. And this one will be taken, and out he comes from -1 out to the 5, the 10, the 15, and they level him. They level him shy of the 20. That is great coverage by the Eagles. It was Duke Riley downfield.
Yeah, you don't get much better than that. Against such a talented special teamer returner, he just gets beyond the 15-yard line. Duke Riley lays a hat on him, puts him right on his back. A good start for special teams and getting this defense in a good spot.
They spot it back at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Haskins in the gun. Adrian Peterson to his right. Slot to the near side. Lone receiver to the far side. Haskins calling for the football. He's back. He's going to throw on 1st down. He fires, and he completes it up to the 27-yard line to Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, they spread him out right away. The Redskins do, with a little slant route on the outside to Terry McLaurin. You know, it's a filling out process. They run that slant into a lot of traffic.
Has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 66 is an eligible receiver.
They run that slant into a lot of traffic, but Haskins is able to fit it in.
Nice throw. They go with a fullback in the I formation. It is 2nd down and 1. This time they go to Peterson, and I think he picks it up. He's very close. Eagles made a nice tackle tough to tell whether or not they stopped him.
They
do pick it up.
Timmy Jernigan gets really good penetration, but they're able to get it just beyond the mark.
I mean, just. It will be a first down for the Redskins. So they move the ball in their first possession and do pick up a first down. They are going with the fullback. Mike Burton is the upback. Adrian Peterson the tailback. You'll remember he broke a 90-yarder last year at Lincoln Financial Field. On 1st and 10, single setback is Peterson now, and the handoff goes to Peterson, but the Eagles are waiting for him, and he maybe picks up a yard. That's it, as Brandon Graham, who's having a good season, knifes in and stops him.
And it's all about the run, Fitz. Yeah, they get a lead block in the fullback there, but they're able to close down no running lanes for Adrian Peterson and an early stop.
It'll be second down and about 8.5. Redskins moving right to left. Into the gun goes Haskins. Haskins back, pumps, fires along the near sideline, making a move and finally picking up a first down on a nice throw and catch is Adrian Peterson. They caught him in the flat. He faked the man out of his shoes and picked up 11 yards, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, it's a really good start for this Washington bunch, and it's a good strategy to get the ball out of Dwayne Haskins' hands as quickly as possible. And everything so far has been the quick passing game, and it's worked. They dropped Fletcher Cox in coverage that time for whatever reason.
Now Josh Ferguson comes in. 1st and 10 Redskins. Handoff goes to Ferguson. He tries to go outside, and he does for a few yards before Nigel Bradham brings him down, but he picks up 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7. The ball at their own 44. They are moving the football. Their opening kickoff took them inside the 20, only out to the 18, and now they are on their own 44. Peterson comes back in. It is second down and about 7. In the gun is Haskins. Slot to the near side, lone receiver to the far side. Haskins has been very sharp so far, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He drops, he sets, he throws, and it is complete up to the 50-yard line. And it will be another first down for the Redskins. They needed 7, he got 7, and Sprinkle made the stop. So far he hasn't gone deep. It's been all short passing and quick openers, but they have moved the football 31 yards.
Yeah, for Kevin O'Connell, their offensive coordinator, this is the best strategy that he could have coming into this game.
1st and 10 from midfield. Peterson takes a high snap, hands it off inside, but the Eagles are right there this time, and there is nothing for Peterson. Absolutely nothing. It'll be second down and 10. That's the thing, Mike. They've got to put Haskins in a 3rd and long.
Yep. Interesting pre-snap motion and setup where they get Steven Sims into the backfield. They've got 3 guys into the backfield. I know that we're going to see something off of that set later in this football game.
It is second down and 10. Again, Haskins in the gun. Motion to the near side of the field. Sims in the slot. Back goes Haskins. He steps up, he pumps, he fires, and it is complete on the far side of the field. Not for much, as leaping up and taking the football over on the far side of the field is Kelvin Harmon. He picks up about 5 yards, and that will put the Redskins in a 3rd down and 5.
With that motion, Dwayne Haskins understands they're in man coverage, and when he sees that, it's just a matter of picking out where you want to go with the football. It's a quick passing game. There's not a lot of reading involved, but pick out the guy that you think can win in that situation.
This drive has been going on for about 5 minutes. It is 3rd down and 5. Back again goes Haskins. He looks. He is being hit. He gets free. He starts to run. He stumbles and falls shy of the 40. He will be shy of the 40, and I think, let's see, will the Redskins punt? I think they're going to go for it. This is a 3-10 team. No, they bring in the punting team.
Well, Brandon Graham gets there. He's the first guy that gets a hand on Haskins, and Haskins is a big, strong guy. He's able to break away from what would have been a sack and able to at least get the ball up the field a little bit. There are a lot of bodies around, but unable to get him to the ground.
So they are going to punt, or at least they are lining up the punt. Bill Callahan, an old school coach, but you would think with a 3-10 record, They don't have a whole lot to lose.
Is it a fake?
No, it's not. Trespway gets it away. It is high and end over end, and it will bounce across the 10 and be down at the 5-yard line. So the Eagles will finally get their hands on the football. The first defensive stop of the game brought to you by St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, committed to delivering high quality. Eagles take over after a 6-minute Redskins drive. Eagles take over at their own 5-yard line. No score in the game. 1st and 10.
Well, and they start with 3 wide receivers and Rob Davis being one of them back in Redskins territory.
First start as an Eagle. First action as an Eagle. Under center is Wentz on first down. Sanders behind him. Ball at the 5-yard line. Wentz straightens up, says something to Sanders, puts Ward in motion. On first down, Wentz to throw. He pumps, he fires, and he completes it over the middle to Zach Ertz up to the 20-yard line, and that digs them out of trouble.
Yeah, that's a smart way to get yourself out of trouble. A little play action, and you know exactly where he's going to be. You go to that guy because you know that. And he gets enough to get a first down. Carson's going to go right to the line of scrimmage and operate the offense without a huddle.
They spotted at the 19, 1st and 10. Wentz in the gun this time, Sanders to his left. Wentz back again, he swings it out to Sanders. Sanders tries to cut back. He moves forward, and he comes across the 25 up to the 26 or 27. An 8-yard gain before Holcomb brings him down.
See how smart he is? When he catches the football, he understands where the leverage is coming from. He takes advantage of that speed to the outside, goes back inside, and makes a nice play out of it.
Again, they go double tight end. It is 2nd down and 2. Wentz takes it, gives it to Sanders, and he's got a first down and more. 30, 35, up to the 36, and knocked out of bounds at the 37 by Monte Nicholson. A pickup of 10 more yards.
You know, Deuce Staley pointed out this week to me the patience that he's starting to see out of the young Miles Sanders, and he just displayed that patience on that run. Excellent job waiting for the blocks to develop and getting upfield.
1st and 10, football up to 38. This drive began on the 5. Wentz walks along the line of scrimmage, calling out a play. To his right is Sanders. Slot to the far side of the field. Arthega-Whiteside to the near side. Wentz slips it off to Sanders again, and he spins forward up across the 40 up to about the 43, where Ioannidis makes the stop. Just about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, it's an inside zone run, but there's really not a lot going on there. They try to run the split zone, but Redskins are right there to make the stop. But that little spin move gets him about 3-4 yards.
Now Boston Scott comes in. It is 2nd down and 7. Football at the 41. Ertz out to the near side. 3 receivers, including Goddard, out to the far side. Wentz in the gun on 2nd and 7. He fakes, he looks, he pumps, he fires. He's got Scott, and Scott is cartwheeled, fumbles the football, but goes down. And I think the Eagles have it, or was he down? Was he down? He was hit. He went down, and we'll see when they look at it. He took the swing pass, he went forward, he tried to cut, he went down, and I think the ground caused the fumble, Mike.
It was a fumble, but
recovered by the offense.
Yeah.
Recovered by the offense.
Ball is scrambled around quite a bit after Scott fumbles the ball. He's the first one to get to it, but he's unable to recover it. But he pushes the ball out far enough that a white shirt, one of the Eagles, ends up getting the football.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. Sanders back in. Wentz under center. Motion to the near side of the field. 3rd and 1. Handoff to Sanders, and he spins forward, pushes forward, and he should have the first down.
He does.
Picks it up.
Easily picks it up because of the push by the offensive line. They fire off of the football, and you can see them moving that line of scrimmage forward. Sanders comes in behind. Now a fresh set of downs to work with.
5.5 to go in the opening quarter. There is no score in the game. Eagles took over on the 5-yard line after Washington punted, and the Eagles now have a 1st and 10. And they are at the midfield stripe. Sanders and Scott are both in. Wentz in the gun. Scott is a receiver. Handoff again to Sanders. He looks for running room. He doesn't find much, and he's just about gets beyond the line of scrimmage. Not by much. He went right, he went left, but the Redskins held their ground, and then he finally wedges forward and manages to pick up a couple of yards.
You know, bringing guys in and off the field. The Eagles are, but not into the huddle. They're just getting right back to the line of scrimmage.
Scott to the left. 3 receivers. Slot to the near side. Wentz rolling, looking, throwing, and it is incomplete. Over on the far side of the field in the direction of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and it will bring up a 3rd down.
I think we saw the tempo offense last week, and that's when Carson really started to get into a rhythm and started to move the football. So I'm not surprised that they'll start this football game today with the tempo style, not huddling up. But now that it's 3rd and you just had an incomplete pass, they're able to huddle up and now try and regroup for this 3rd down.
Scott, a wide receiver to the far side. Whiteside in the slot. 3 receivers to the near side. Wentz lets it go. Complacent and running with the football. Across the 30, the 25, the 20 goes Zach Ertz. He's the go-to guy. Has been for a long time, and he is again today.
No question about that. There's a lot of confusion on the Redskins side. They're not even set up defensively when the ball is snapped. That's the reason for this hurry-up tempo style of offense, just to confuse them and catch them out of position. They do on this play.
Eagles in the Mealy's red zone. It is 1st and 10. Football at the 20. Wentz in the gun. Boston Scott to his right. 3 receivers out to the far side of the field. Ward is far right. Wentz back. He's looking. He steps up. He is firing, and it is incomplete. Trying to get the football to Ertz this time and threw it just a little bit wide as he cleared along the base of the end zone.
Boy, and he just missed, but the middle of the field is so wide open. If he chooses to, he can just take off running, but Zach Ertz gets by the linebacker, outruns the linebacker, Cole Holcomb, and he's got a shot at Ertz in the back of the end zone.
Wentz is 4 for 6, 55 yards. It is 2nd down and 10, the ball at the Redskins 20. We've got 3:46 remaining in the scoreless first quarter. Wentz in the gun. Motion, now Miles Sanders sets up to his right. Wentz back again, here comes the rush. He lets it go, and he completes it down across the 15-yard line. He goes to Zach Ertz again.
Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, starting to send that extra pressure. He sent the guy off the slot that time, and Carson gets the ball out quickly enough.
He really did.
He has to understand that that guy is the unaccounted for guy. He's got to get the ball out, and he does. Excellent job there. The previous play, they blitz, and Jason Peters slides out, and he's able to pick it up.
It is 3rd and 3. Ball on the 13. Wentz in the gun. Sanders positioned to his right. Slot to the far side of the field. Back goes Wentz. He pumps. He looks. He's going to run. He dives, and he's close to the 10-yard line, and he picks it up. Well, let's see where they spot it.
It's a really good decision. It's a first down.
It is.
It's a really good decision by Carson Wentz to fake the throw, but he understands where he is, where he needs to be, and he's athletic enough. He picks up the first down.
The ball at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10. When Philly's in the Mealy's red zone, Justice Rescue receives a $100 donation. Whenever the Eagles are in that Mealy's red zone. It is 1st and goal at the 8. Wentz in the gun. Motion to the near side. Wentz takes the snap, and he starts to dive forward. Things got a little bit out of control there, Mike.
Yeah, he mishandled the snap. It's a ball that's fumbled on the snap. He picks it up, and I think they're just setting up a quarterback draw here. He's got Miles Sanders out in front of him running, but it just looks like a quarterback draw where the snap was mishandled. This is the 13th play of this possession.
It is 2nd and goal from the 7. Ertz, flank to the far side. Slot to the near side. Ward is in the slot. Wentz in the goals. In the gun. He's back. He pumps. He's being chased. And he finally throws it away. Did the right thing. He was surrounded by the Redskins. And he finally just put his arm back, cocked it, and threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, good decision to just throw the football away and live to the next play. But they're able to spread this defense out so much. A quick hitter in the middle of that defense, I think, goes a long way.
Eagles are 3 for 3 on third down conversions. We only have a minute and a half left in this first quarter. Eagles have a 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Wentz in the gun. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Ertz out to the far side. Wentz looks, fires, and it is incomplete. Incomplete as he was going deep, looking for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, covered on the play by John Bostic, and Jake Elliott, the field goal unit, comes on.
Yeah, he's looking for Whiteside. Whiteside is unable to fight through the traffic and get to where he's expecting him. John Bostic, the linebacker, just face guards him, gets in front of him, and he cuts off the angle. So Carson's anticipating him being one place. Bostic's able to cut him off so he doesn't get there.
So here is Wentz with the short field goal. It is spotted, it is kicked, it is up, and it is good. Xfinity X5 lead change of the game, powered by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. There's a timeout on the field with the score, 3-0 Eagles. Jake Elliott's kickoff. Eagles lead 3-0. A minute and 23 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Eagles would have liked to have finished that drive with a touchdown, but the Redskins played pretty good defense. Wentz did look very authoritative. Here is the kickoff. It is high and it is deep, and taking the knee is Sims. Steven Sims. Tackle your gas and electricity costs like 180,000 businesses in North America who trust Direct Energy Business to help them make their business better. Find out how to score big by visiting business.directenergy.com. With that field goal, Direct Energy kicks in another $500 to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Ball at the 25, moving right to left. Under center is Haskins. On 1st down, he's back, he fires, and he completes it, and breaking free across the 50, it's McLaurin. There he goes. He scores. McLaurin 75 yards.
And that's all it takes. It takes one miss. A slant route. This is the way they started the football game. It was a slant route. There was a miss by the safety on what should have been a tackle, and Terry McLaurin races the distance and into the end zone.
Well, he did it in Philadelphia, and he does it here. And the Redskins take the lead, just like that.
And when you have big play ability guys on the outside, that's all it takes is one strike. Rodney McLeod had a shot, and when he missed, it was just off to the races, and no one's going to catch that kid.
Hopkins in for the extra point, spotted, kicked, up and good, and it is 7-3 Washington. That was the Comcast Business Beyond Fast play of the game. Learn how to take your business beyond fast at ComcastBusiness.com. There is a timeout on the field with the score. Washington 7, the Eagles 3 on the Eagles Radio Network. That drive took all of 13 seconds. Stats brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC Bank committed to helping Philadelphians take action today so you can reach your financial goals tomorrow. PNC, make today the day.
Yeah, there were 2 drives. One took 16 plays and only got a field goal. The Washington Redskins drive, 1 play. It goes the distance, 75 yards for a touchdown.
Here is the kickoff by Hopkins. It is high and it is deep, and it will go out of the end zone. So the Redskins lead 7-3. McLaurin scored his first NFL touchdown against the Eagles on September the 8th.
Yep.
And this was his 7th. Quite a football player. Eagles will be facing him for years. Great talent out of Ohio State.
Yeah, quite a 3rd-round draft pick.
So the Eagles take over at the 25-yard line with just over a minute remaining here in the opening quarter. They go with 3 wide receivers. Josh Perkins is set up to the far side of the field. Boston Scott in the far side slot. Comes in motion on 1st down. It goes to Sanders, and the Redskins are waiting for him. There was some faking on the ghost around, but the handoff went underneath to Sanders, and he only picked up about 2 yards.
Well, it's a 3 tight end set that they have on the field right now. They're bringing in wideouts But they had 3 tight ends on the field, so for the Redskins, they're able to bunch it up. They're not expecting anything on the outside. There's no sense in spreading their defense, so they were right there to make the stop.
Ertz, Whiteside, and Ward split to the far side of the field. Goddard to the near side. Sanders in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. Wentz in the gun. Wentz takes the snap. He's back. He is firing, and it is overthrown, incomplete. And a late flag. It's going to be hitting a defenseless receiver against the Redskins. The pass was intended for Ertz, and when the ball flew over his head, he was hammered, and the penalty flags flew.
Yeah, and it's a senseless shot downfield that they take on Zach Ertz. You can clearly see, the safety can clearly see the ball is overthrown.
Defense, unnecessary roughness, number 35.
Yes.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Monte Nicholson is the safety, and he can clearly see that the ball is overthrown, and Zach Ertz has already given up on the throw, but he's going to take a hit on him anyway.
And Zach Ertz is absolutely furious as he walks off the field.
And the doctors, of course, came out onto the field, but I think he's fine. Hopefully, he just knocked the wind out of him. But he was not expecting that hit because, obviously, it's a non-play.
It's going to cost Nicholson a lot of money. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet, but it was late and it was dirty. Robert Davis in the lineup on the far side of the field. 1st and 10. The ball at the 42. Wentz takes the snap. He's back again. He swings it out to Sanders. Looks for running room and finds it. Up the left sideline he goes. Across midfield and into Redskins territory as the seconds tick away.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of these guys in the screen game. The Eagles don't have that big play guy that you can just get down the field and throw the deep ball to, or one that's going to catch a slant and take it the distance. But on plays like the screen game and getting Sanders out in space, that's how you move the ball.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Redskins 7, the Eagles 3. Ertz is back in. He walked over to the Redskins on the field and said something. Parks Casino is your game day destination. Watch all the action in Liberty Bell Gastropub and the all-season beer garden. Perfect place for holiday parties and special events. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
No, I think he should have walked over there and said something. That is today's version of a cheap shot.
Oh, yeah.
When you know the play is basically dead and you're going to throw your shoulder into a guy.
It is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball on the Redskins 40. We begin the second quarter. Redskins lead 7-3. Motion to the near side on 1st down. Wentz fakes. He's back. He fires, and it is complete. Running with the football, leaping over a man is Goddard. Goddard comes all the way across the 25 down to the 23. Goddard is so effective running with the football after making the catch.
Yeah, and as I said, when you don't have that big play guy, this is a way that you can get big chunks of yards, and that's what the Eagles are able to do with the screen pass to Miles Sanders and then now to Dallas Goedert with a posse out front of him.
It is 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage. The 24 of the Redskins. Ertz is out. Motion to the far side is Perkins. Wentz goes straight back. He looks. He's looking. Still looking. He's firing for the end zone. And it is incomplete. Broken up, intended for Whiteside. The ball knocked away at the last second by Jimmy Moreland. Wentz had him. Oh, he had him.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lead more, because I think Marlon's able to catch up to the football and get a hand on it. It's very difficult to tell if he actually tipped the ball.
Well, he had his back to us, and it was very difficult because of the way the angle presented itself.
So it's hard to tell if he actually gets a hand on the football, but if that ball leads him just a little bit more, then Marlon doesn't have a shot for it.
It is 2nd down and 10. Scott in motion. They go with a quick pitch to Scott. Turns the corner. Runs with the football down close to the 20. And now a late penalty flag. Let's see about this. It came from the secondary. It was a late flag as they went with a flanker around. It picked up 4 yards. The officials are meeting. Let's see.
Well, they run that jet sweep motion quite a bit. And
during the run, illegal block in the back, offense number 88. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
With that motion, sometimes you're going to be able to hand the football off and catch the defense sleeping, but this time they're in pretty good position.
So it cost the Eagles 10 yards, and it will put the Eagles in second down and 17 back at the Redskins' 31-yard line. I'll take a Whiteside to the near side. Wing to the near side. Wentz under center. Motion, Perkins. Now a penalty flag, and it's going to be an illegal procedure against the Eagles. And second and 17 just became second and 22.
5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, these are the things you cannot do. This is a critically important game for this football team, and they are hurting themselves on this drive. In fact, on their first drive, they had first and goal inside the 10 and had to settle for a field goal. Redskins scored on a long 75-yard play to McLaurin. Now the Eagles trying to get back, and they have a second down and 22. Wentz lines them up. Wentz back again. He's looking, he is firing, incomplete. He was hit as he was releasing that ball, looking for Whiteside. He was hit from behind, got the ball away, but it was way off target and short. Ryan Anderson had a hit.
Roughing the passer.
Oh!
Defense number 52. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So this is what happens when teams are bad. You know, you get a great opportunity because the Eagles are back up on 2 penalties, and now they get a foul called on them for roughing the passer. And I'm not quite sure if it is. It's
around the knees.
It's around the knees. When you're hitting a quarterback low, you're going to get that call.
Yeah, every time. All right, it's a tight formation. First and 10 for the Eagles. Sanders the single setback ball at the Redskins 22. Motion again, Boston Scott. Quick pitch to Sanders, tries to sweep. Penalty flag as he turns the corner, and he is brought down at the 10. But I think the Eagles are going to get an illegal block.
It's going to be a holding or block in the back. It's going to be a hold. I see Whiteside just grabs the guy and snatches him to the ground.
During the run, holding, offense number 19. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
This has got to be driving Doug Peterson crazy.
Listen, I got to go back to the pass where Carson was hit. He's looking for Whiteside, and I can't quite tell what Whiteside's doing. Is he going to go on a go route? Is he going to stop? He's kind of in between, and that's not a route at all. 4 straight plays with penalties.
So the Eagles have a first and 20 from the 32 or 31. Wentz under center. Sanders behind him. 3 receivers grouped over to the far side of the field. Wentz fakes, now gives off to Sanders, and he plunges up the middle, goes up across the 25 down to about the 24.
I tell you what, I like the design of this play. They get really good movement on the nose by Kelsey. He gets a really good push.
Yep.
Say Amalo gets downfield, second level, pushing people around. That's how you run the football.
We have 12-17 remaining in the first half. It is 7-3 Redskins.
When they play that odd front with the defender right on the nose of Jason Kelsey, you have to be able to block him. Kelsey gets a good block on him.
Rob Davis to the near side. Slot to the far side. Boston Scott in the backfield. Set to the right of Wentz. Wentz fakes to Scott. He's back. He fires. He completes it over the middle. Running with it is Goddard. And Goddard comes across the 15. And he's taken down at the 14. The Eagles in the Mealy's red zone. $100 donation to Justice Rescue. 9-yard pickup there. And it will put them on a 3rd down and 3. They have to get to the Redskins 11 for a first down. Mixing up the players.
I like the communication by the guys up front. The Redskins are sending blitzes. They're sending different looks, but the communication is right. They're picking up all of the different stunts and giving Carson time to throw the football.
Scott to the right of Wentz. Slot to the far side. Motion to the near side. Wentz back, looks, pumps, fires, complete. He's got the first down as he goes to Greg Ward down at the 8. 6-yard pickup. Greg Ward is very dependable, Mike. He rarely drops a pass.
I like the way Carson Wentz is going through his progression. He looks to the outside, doesn't have what he wants, but he understands where the defenders are. He understands where his outlet is with the football. He gets it to Ward, and they keep the chains moving.
1st and goal at the 8. They were there before on their first possession. They don't want to come away with 3. 1st and goal. Sanders back in. Motion. This time it goes to Sanders. He cuts back. He's across the 5, and he's down to the 2. Miles Sanders with great movement and power. Moreau brings him down after a 7-yard gain.
Plowing him up in the run game. Big bodies are out there, and they are plowing them up. They're moving bodies around. Miles Sanders with the burst coming in right behind them. Now it's 2nd and just a short 2 to get the ball into the end zone.
This is where you wish you had Jordan Howard.
Sanders 7 carries, 37 yards.
This time again, it's a quick pitch to Sanders, and he is in for the touchdown, and the Eagles regain the lead.
Listen, this is a smart call by Doug Peterson. The Redskins are slow to line up defensively. They quick snap them. They quickly get to the offensive line. They snap the ball quickly. They catch them out of position and get into the end zone.
Blocks by Brooks and Vaitai. Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com. Jake Elliott in for the extra point. Miles Sanders is really playing well. And you know who else is? Carson Wentz. He has been authoritative. Here is the extra point. Spotted, kicked up. And it is good. And the Eagles take a 10-7 lead. Timeout on the field. That's the score. Eagles 10, Redskins 7 on the Eagles Radio Network. Presented by PNC Bank. Get a behind-the-scenes look at life with the Philadelphia Eagles on the Eagles Insider Podcast, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. With Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro. Subscribe today wherever you listen to podcasts. Steven Sims, the deep man. Jake Elliott to kick off. Eagles up. 10-7. Just under 10 to go in the first half. Here is the kickoff. It is high, and it is out of the end zone. I like the way Carson Wentz is playing. He's really picked it up where he left off in the second half against the Giants, where he's surveying the field. He's letting the ball out of his hand very quickly. Just playing good football.
Yeah, and if they're able to keep it up, the way they've had the ball almost 14 minutes of the game already. Redskins only 6 minutes, 9 seconds because they're able to get it all on one play that last possession. And that's what they have to be able to avoid.
Eagles have to watch out for that McLaurin, who is split wide to the near side of the field. Peterson to the right of Haskins in the gun on first down. Haskins wants McLaurin again, and it is incomplete, but pass interference call against Jalen Mills.
Yep, and it's the right call. And Jalen Mills is ready to wag his finger as if he made a really good play. What you did was you ran into the receiver.
Boy, he is going to be ahead of you.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And I got to apologize to Rodney McLeod. I thought it was Rodney that missed the tackle on that 75-yard run, but it was Avonte Maddox who had a shot. They had him back.
As reported as an eligible receiver. Number 66 is an eligible receiver.
Maddox was back in that free safety spot and missed the tackle.
It is 1st and 10 for the Redskins up at their own 40. On first down, handoff to Peterson, and Peterson fights his way up for about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Brandon Graham makes the stop.
Boy, he runs hard.
But that time only 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
The old gray mare is not what he used to be, but he does run hard.
Well, he's 34 years old, but still a threat every time he touches the football. Now they have Chris Thompson in the backfield. Slot to the far side, McLaurin. Boy, you get nervous every time you see McLaurin split out to the far side of the field. Back goes Haskins again. He is firing, and it is complete out near the 40-yard line of the Eagles to Steven Sims.
A really good design on this play, and they're able to flood the outside zone, and you get the deep receiver that kind of clears out, and then there's a void between the safety and the corner, and Haskins hits that void for another big pickup.
I'll tell you, Rasul Douglas gave him a lot of cushion. It is 1st and 10 for the Redskins in Eagles territory again. Down at the 40-yard line. Haskins under center. Haskins to Peterson. He bounces it. He's running. He's breaking tackles along the sideline. He's got 13 yards. Eagles defense is making the Redskins offense look dynamic.
Yeah, they look pretty good right here. That little jump cut by Adrian Peterson and getting to the outside. Yeah, there's not many 34-year-olds you can see do that.
But the Eagles are missing tackles. Mike, I know it's a good
Number 66
player.
has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 66 is eligible.
So now they bring in an extra big body, and you would think that they're going to run the football. You have to be leery of those outside receivers, though.
It is 1st and 10. They were at the Eagles 27. Single setback on 1st down. Back goes Haskins. He's hit, and he's thrown, and he's sacked. They've got him. It was Nathan Gary.
Yeah, this is a Jim Schwartz special. When you get down into this territory, he wants to try and knock you back. He sends that blitz, that extra guy off the right side for the Redskins. They're unable to pick it up. Nathan Gary knocking that offense back.
Boy, he knocked him back.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, holding. Defense number 32.
Oh, my goodness.
5-yard penalty. Automatic, 1st down.
Oh, the Eagles are just killing themselves with penalties.
Yes, they are.
Just killing themselves with penalties. That was a big sack. And they call holding.
And that's really, it's kind of a trademark of Schwartz to get in this situation and try and get that.
Eligible receiver. Number 66 has reported as an eligible receiver.
And try and knock him back with a sack, but boy, oh boy. It's a pretty weak call, by the way, as I'm watching the replay.
It is 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the 22. This time, it is a quick pitch out to Thompson and running with the football and down inside the 10. It is Peterson again.
Yeah, they run the option this time. Haskins goes down the line, and he's got that option guy, Adrian Peterson, there. And so when the defense kind of gets close to him to make the hit, he flicks it out to Peterson on the option.
Offside. Defense number 75. That penalty decline. Resolve the play. It's 1st down.
How many things can you do wrong?
How many penalties have the Eagles had so far in this first half?
How many things can you do wrong in one drive?
Well, they're doing them. 5 penalties for 44 yards.
Game clock operator, can you please reset the game clock to 7 minutes and 50 seconds? 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Thank you. The clock will start on my whistle.
Now they've got them spread out and a lot of one-on-ones.
It is 1st and goal at the 8. This time it is another running play, and it doesn't go far. It goes to inside to Peterson, and Brandon Graham, who has been very busy in this game, makes the stop. It is 10-7 Eagles leading with 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
Adrian Peterson has been a great football player in the National Football League, and they're trying to get him over that 1,000-yard mark again. Coming into this game, he was at 718.
Haskins under center. He takes, he looks, he is firing, and it is incomplete. Incomplete.
Yeah, there are some opportunities to pick that one off. This time he's going for Kevin Harmon.
Yep.
And the ball gets batted around. But he looks right, he looks to his left, and it's a really nice break on the ball by Ronald Darby.
That will put the Redskins in a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line.
Crunch time, Mr. Reese. So for your pregame, your in-game, or your post-game cravings, keep it Philly with Hers Snacks. Big play.
Chris Thompson in the game. Haskins lines them up. 3rd and goal. Can the Eagles defense hold them? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Callahan's going to get a timeout here.
Timeout. Washington. 30 seconds.
I better change my vocabulary. Instead of saying, can they hold them? They've been doing that, getting penalties. Just stop them.
Yeah, you stop that.
Hold that line has a whole new set of connotations.
They've done a pretty good job of holding him too many times at the wrong times in the early stages of this game. So Callahan, the interim head coach of the Redskins, gets a timeout, trying to reset and take advantage of this excellent field position that they've gotten for themselves.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Eagles lead by 3. Haskins.
Big play.
Lines
big
them up.
Play.
He's got Thompson to his left. He's back. He's looking. He is firing, and it is caught. It's a touchdown, I believe, to Steven Sims.
One of the things I really do not like about the way the defensive backs play, they never look back to play the football, or rarely do they look back to play the football. Avonte Maddox, the victim this time, he's face guarding Sims. Sims is locating the football. He never locates the ball.
So I'm taking a look to see how close he is. 1 foot,
he got
them both. He did a great job. Steven Sims did a great job of getting both heels in by a couple of inches.
They are really talented. The Redskins are on the outside, and that will make up for a lot of mistakes.
Here is Hopkins for the extra point to give the Redskins a 14-10 lead. It is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field with the score. The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC. We have 6:56 remaining in the second quarter, and the Redskins offense has been outstanding. Either that or the Eagles defense has been porous, or a combination of both.
I'll go with a combination.
Yeah. Hopkins to kick off. Scott is the deep man. It is high and it is deep. And Scott takes it. He's coming out. He's at the 5, 10, 15, 20. Cuts back across the center of the field and does a good job. Here's John Russell with an NFL update.
NFC North battle, Merrill in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Pack looking for win number 11. Bears looking to stay alive. Aaron Rodgers hits Adams on a 29-yard TD strike. Packers up 7-0. Dietz and Watson. 80 years of handcrafted Philly family flavor. Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing.
1st and 10 for the Eagles, moving right to left. They trail 14-10. In the gun is Wentz. He's got Sanders to his right. Sanders has been outstanding in this game. On 1st down, Wentz fires over the middle. It's high and incomplete. Looking for Ertz on a crossing pattern, and that one was just overthrown.
Yeah, he just wants the quick one. Little play action in the backfield and a quick slant to Zach Ertz, just slightly overthrown.
Wentz is 10 for 16, 113 yards.
Yeah, but to the outside receivers, I think he's only connected once. Most of the passes, tight ends, and then the running backs caught a couple.
The one connection was Greg Ward. Wentz again in the gun. Now he's back. He fakes. Now he is going deep down the center of the field to the right side, and it is incomplete. Broken up in time, this time going to Goddard. Looking to Goddard along the right hash mark. And that will put the Eagles on a 3rd down.
Like this play call, and Dallas Goedert has an opportunity here, and this ball just needs to lead him a little bit more. He runs away from John Bostic, then the linebacker, then he's got to slow up to make a play on the football.
Eagles are 4 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. This is a 3rd down and 10, less manageable than some of the others. Boston Scott to the right of Wentz in the gun. Lone receiver to the far side, slot to the near side. Back goes Wentz. He's looking. He starts to run. He fires the football. It is deflected and almost intercepted. The Eagles are very lucky because that pass was deflected in the air and then knocked down, and Sean Hamilton had a shot at it.
Well, they bring pressure this time from the right side of Carson Wentz. You know, they show pressure on the front side, but they drop into coverage. The pressure is coming from his backside, and Landon Collins this time gets through and nearly gets him for a sack. He tries to keep that play alive, but almost to his detriment.
Yeah, that could have been a big mistake. Ertz was the intended receiver. Here is the punt by Cam Johnston. It is end over end, and it is taken by Sims. Sims brought down as he comes to the 35-yard line. So the Redskins back on offense again. Timeout on the field with the score. Washington leading 14-10 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by... This holiday season, the Eagles Pro Shop has just what you need for the special fans in your life. Stop by any of the 4 locations in Cherry Hill, Lancaster, Lincoln, Financial Field, and new this year, Christmas Village at Love Park. Redskins lead it 14-10. 6:24 remaining in the first half, and they've made Dwayne Haskins look like Ryan Fitzpatrick, who they made look like Aaron Rodgers. On 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, it's a quick handoff to Ferguson. Josh Ferguson in the game, and he goes no plays. Josh Sweat came in and stopped him.
Listen, Haskins has just looked good today, throwing the football around. He's almost perfect. He's 7 of 8 passing, 130 yards, 2 touchdown tosses, and he's looked pretty good. And I also think the game plan coming into this game against the Eagles, it's a solid game plan mixed with some nice designs in the passing game.
Adrian Peterson comes back in. And the gun is Haskins. Sprinkle, the tight end, wide right. Back goes Haskins. He fires a pass out in the flat and completes it. And running and being knocked out of bounds is Peterson. He was dead to rights, and he got away from Nathan Gary and ran along that far sideline for 6 yards.
Yeah, Nathan Gary never really gathered himself and just tries to run full speed and get to Adrian Peterson. Well, he just sidesteps him, makes a play out of what would have been just a 1-yard pickup.
It is 3rd down and 4 for Washington. Line of scrimmage, their own 41. Haskins lines up. Chris Thompson to his left. Watch out for McLaren. He's in the near side slot. Back goes Haskins. He looks, he pumps, he fires. It's dropped. It's incomplete. Good coverage, too. Very good coverage by Maddox.
Yeah, this
Avonte Maddox right there on the back of Steven Sims, and the Redskins will punt.
You know, he tries to run this little whip route, starts inside and then tries to whip it back to the outside, and Maddox in perfect condition to defend on the play.
Greg Ward is the deep man. Positioned back near the 10-yard line. Tress Way to punt. Way standing back at his 26, gets it away. It is a driving punt coming up. Is Ward, then he lets it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone. Smart play. Greg Ward is a very smart football player. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10 on the Eagles Radio Network. Presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day. Finally, a decent series by the Eagles defense. Now they have a 1st and 10 at their own 20. They trail the Redskins 14-10 with 5:09 remaining to be played in the first half.
Yeah, and they needed that stop. The defense really needed that. They had a couple of possessions where the Redskins were able to move the ball, get points.
The Eagles with 3 tight ends, including Perkins. Scott in the game goes in motion. On 1st down, Wentz rolls, fires. He's got Scott along the far sideline, and he races down the sideline for a 1st down. That little Boston Scott, oh, is he quick.
He doesn't waste any time. Now, when he gets the football in his hands, he's running like his feet are on fire. He gets down the field very quickly. I like the play design, getting him on the move, out in space, because he can be a problem in space.
Play picks up 12 yards and a 1st down. Sanders comes in. Wentz under center this time. Lone receiver out to the near side of the field. Wentz gives it to Sanders. And Sanders doesn't get far this time as the Redskins move forward. He picks up 4 yards. Montez Sweat is the man who makes the stop. So even when they appear to have him, he has that kind of body lean, Mike, where he can pick up 4 yards where it looks like it's going to be a 2-yard gain.
And that's because, Merrill, they got movement at the line of scrimmage. And, he's running laterally but vertically at the same time.
He's got 9 rushes, 9 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown. Boston Scott re-enters the game. Wentz fakes. He's back. He's looking. He fires. He's got Scott, but Scott is belted down as the ball arrives. There is nothing he could do. Cole Holcomb came over, and he just leveled him.
Well, he did the best thing that he could do is just hold on to the football. Holcomb reads him. That's his guy in coverage. And Holcomb's able to drive on the throw and put this Eagles offense in a 3rd down and long position.
It is 3rd and 7. They have to come up to the 42 for a first down. They're on their own 35-yard line. Wentz in the gun. Sanders back in. Redskins have been applying a lot of pressure. Slot to the far side. Wentz gives it off to Sanders on a draw. He has the first down and more. He's at the 50, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line by Monte Nicholson. But that was a 16-yard explosion off of a draw by Miles Sanders.
Yeah, they've got Landon Collins, and he's just going to try and eye him up from the 2nd level. But he runs away from him. Patience with the draw. He takes the football, waits for the opening, and then a sprint to the opening and runs away from Collins.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. 2:42 remaining in the first half. They trail by 4. Motion to the near side. Wentz slips it off to Boston Scott. He looks for running room, and he leans across the 45-yard line. Boston Scott on that carry. Not much, but still picked up 3.5 yards before Ioannidis in Orchard made the stop. It'll bring up a 2nd down at about 6.5.
Yeah, that is the battle. What's going on in the trenches right now with the Eagles' offensive line and that defensive front of the Redskins, that's the battle in this football game.
2 receivers grouped to the far side. Wentz under center. Wentz fakes, back, rolling, looking, and then just throws it away. Incomplete. Didn't have anything rather than just try to force the ball someplace.
There's no intentional grounding. Number 86 is in the area.
He's becoming such a good manager in bad situations.
Here's the 2-minute warning with the score.
This is the 2-minute warning.
The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP. PNC Bank. PNC has been a cornerstone in our region for more than 150 years, and they're committed to helping the members of our community. PNC, make today the day.
Well, Miles Sanders doing the heavy lifting. He's got 12 touches so far on the day, 2 receptions, 26 yards, 10 carries, 55 yards, and that touchdown.
That's over 5 yards a carry.
He's doing the heavy lifting so far.
3rd and 8 for the Eagles at the 48-yard line of the Redskins. They've been 5 for 7 on 3rd downs. Sanders to the right of Wentz. 3 receivers to the near side. Ertz out to the far side. This is a big play. They need 8 yards. Wentz straight back. He's looking. He is firing, and it's dropped. He tried to get it to Ertz. The ball was thrown high, but Zach had both hands on it. Just couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, a little behind Zach Ertz, and I think everyone in the building knows that that's a possible target, the most likely target. But this ball is just slightly thrown off, and Zach couldn't come up with it.
In the punt, Cam Johnston in to return Steven Sims. Sims already had a touchdown reception. Here is the punt. It is high, wobbly. Sims gets under it and calls for a fair catch at the 8. The Eagles have all of their timeouts remaining. And don't forget, the Eagles will be receiving the second half kickoff. Eagles trail 14-10. Defense did well on the last Redskins possession, but they have made more than their share of mistakes.
Well,
and
if they get a turnover here, do you forgive them?
I do.
All right.
I'm very forgiving.
All right.
1st and 10. Now, Haskins, we keep hearing how confused he's been. He's been anything but confused.
Now, they've kept it very simple. Haven't really confused him at all.
On 1st down, Haskins in the gun. Haskins drops, looks left, fires right, and is it complete? I believe it is. It was thrown low, but Jeremy Sprinkle, the tight end, dug it out of the ground before it hit.
First charge timeout, Philadelphia. 30 seconds.
It'll be 2nd down and 3. Or 2nd down and 4 for the Redskins.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 41 seconds. 1:41 on game clock, please. Thank you.
Tell you, Haskins isn't holding the ball very long at all. This timeout brought to you by Wawa. Wawa Classic Hoagies are made for you with delicious ingredients on a freshly baked roll. Wawa, the official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles.
And that's been a big key for this Redskins offense, that he's not holding on to the football. He's 9 of 11, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It is 2nd down and 4. He's got Chris Thompson to his left. 3 receivers to the near side. He has not been picked off today. He takes the snap. He's looking. He fires. Incomplete, but there's a penalty flag thrown, and that could be holding against the Redskins.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox, he's going to completely agree with you. He's screaming at the official that this guy's holding me. Eric Flowers can't block Fletcher Cox. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Do the Eagles wave it off and give them a 3rd and 4, or do they take it? Now, time is of the essence right now with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Redskins leading 14-10.
Holding, offense number 67. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 3rd down.
So they're gambling that the Redskins can keep the Eagles can keep the Redskins from gaining 4 yards or 3.5 yards on this next play, and then kill the clock, and then still have a chance to run a drive in the final minute and a half.
Well, they're going to line up Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham on the inside, on those guards on the inside, and they're going to bring Avery off the edge here.
Slot to the near side. Motion to the near side, and Sims. Shotgun. Back goes Haskins. He's being chased. He fires. He completes it. They've got a 1st down with Thompson and more, as Thompson took the little screen and ran it all the way up to the 30-yard line. So the gamble did not pay off.
And it's a good play call by the Redskins. Sometimes you got to give it up. That's a good play call in that situation. They know that the pressure is coming. They're able to get a first.
1st and 10. Haskins back again. Now the play is being held up. Let's see about this.
Well, there's a flag on the play before the snap. I don't think the Redskins ever got set.
No, they didn't. It is against the Redskins.
I think they were trying to go tempo and hurry up and get a play off, and they themselves never got set.
It would be a good thing if this defense could come up with a turnover. They have not done that today. They need somebody to make a play. Force a fumble, recover a fumble, come up with a pick.
Illegal shift that converts to a false start offense. Not all 11 players is set at the snap. By rule, this requires a 10-second runoff. However, Philadelphia has elected to decline the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on my whistle. 5-second penalty, 5-yard penalty correction.
So it'll be 1st and 15.
Game clock to 1 minute and 15 seconds. 1:15 on the game clock, please.
Overall, this has not been a good first half for the Eagles. They've done some good things offensively, but they've made too many mistakes.
Yeah, against a 3-10 team, but a 3-10 team that's in the NFC East and fighting.
And the gun again is Haskins. Thompson to his left. Now another penalty.
Yep, they got movement evidently from the Washington side again.
Neutral zone infraction.
Oh.
Defense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Makes 1st down.
Called on Jannard Avery. So they gave them the 5 yards right back. They did that earlier, too. The Redskins took a big penalty on the very next down. The Eagles did something to hurt themselves. That's 6 penalties in one half. That's just atrocious.
Well, and Doug Peterson is counting on his defense getting off the field, trying to save time.
1st and 10. Haskins back. Haskins being chased. He is running. He is throwing. And he completes it on the far side of the field to Terry McLaurin and picks up a 1st down. Tell you what, forget the Eagles getting the ball back and moving. They would be fortunate just to get off this field at halftime in a 4-point hole, and the Eagles will take the second half kickoff.
Well, Vinnie Curry is screaming down there. He was obviously held, almost tackled on the play by the left tackle and got no penalty out of Donald Penn.
1st and 10 Redskins. Football up at their own 44. Haskins again with Thompson to his left. Haskins takes his drop. He's loading up. He is firing, and it is incomplete. Leaping for the ball was Malcolm Jenkins. He got one hand on it. There wasn't a Redskins near it. Malcolm did a good job just getting up and getting a hand on it, but no interception.
It's one of those plays where you want him to get a hand on it, but no, you really don't, because Rodney McLeod is waiting there, and it's going to land into the lap of Rodney McLeod if that ball isn't tipped.
But that's something you can't coordinate on defense.
No, absolutely.
You just go for the ball.
When you can get a hand on it, you have to. But Rodney is behind him, and just they're waiting on the ball.
It is 2nd and 10. Haskins with Thomas to his left. Screens out to Sims. Sims running with the football, and he's tackled at the 50-yard line. That will put the Redskins now 54 seconds, 53.
Second charge timeout, Washington.
Washington takes the timeout. Washington takes it.
54 seconds on the game clock. Game clock operator, 54 seconds.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5 at the 49-yard line. 3rd and 5 at their own 49-yard line. It is 14-10 Redskins. Redskins scored, Eagles scored on a 25-yard field goal after they had a 1st and goal at the 8. And after all that, on their first play of their second possession, Haskins went to McLaurin for 75 yards. Sanders came back and gave the Eagles a 14-10 lead, and then Haskins to Sims to put them ahead. 3rd and 5. Haskins back again. He's loading up. He is firing, and it is incomplete. Incomplete down across the 30-yard line, intended for Steven Sims, and the Redskins will punt. Now the Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining, 49 seconds on the clock.
Well, and I just think the Redskins on that play tried to get too much out of it. They've got a 1st down out into the flat if they quickly get the ball out there, but Haskins is looking for a bigger one downfield. They just didn't get it.
Be nice to see Greg Ward have an opportunity to return something. He's standing back at the 10. The punt by Way is in the air. Ward backs up. He lets it bounce, and it kicks, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line.
Well, he makes the right decision here, but that ball just didn't take a bounce that works for the Eagles. He's standing on the 10-yard line. He throws up his hand, Greg Ward does, to signal the fair catch, hoping that the coverage team, they're faked out, but the ball lands inside the 5.
And Danny Johnson of the Redskins runs down and catches it before it can go into the end zone. So there are 40 seconds left, and the Eagles are back at the 2-yard line. Do you come out throwing here, Mike?
They're going to come out throwing. And the last time they were backed up, where did they go? A little play action, and it went right to Zach Ertz over the middle.
Wide receivers split. Motion to the near side. On 1st down, handoff goes inside, and running with it is Sanders.
Good call.
Picks up 5 yards. 28 seconds to go.
And they don't seem to be in a big hurry.
No, and they're not calling a timeout. They're not calling a timeout. They're just going to run this one out and go to the locker room. And they're going to get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter in a 4-point hole. Eagles slowly coming to the line of scrimmage.
but in a much better position when they get it coming out in the third quarter.
And that's the end of the half with the score. The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10.
This is the end of the first half.
Stay tuned for the Piazza Auto Group halftime show, brought to you by Piazza Auto Group, with 25 locations including Honda, Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, Volkswagen, Subaru, and more. On the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP.
Check it out now.
Who needs to get hot? That's easy in my opinion. It's Carson Wentz and his wide receivers. In the first half, he's got one connection to a wide receiver.
And the kickoff goes out of the end zone. Kickoff brought to you by Ford. Ford F-150 is the only pickup built with a high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy cab and bed. Check it out at your local Ford store today. Second half adjustments brought to you by Tower Health. Tower Health is proud to support our home team and connect you to your healthiest. Discover more at towerhealth.org. First and 10, Eagles ball at their own 25, and it is up to them to set a tone by doing something with the football on this drive.
And just one completion to a wide receiver the entire first half, just unacceptable.
Wentz in the gun. On first down, he's looking, he fires, and he completes it to Greg Ward, who makes the catch up at the 30-yard line and then is tripped up. Fabian Moreau, that's the second catch for Greg Ward.
He's tripped up. He was tripped by the stripe, or maybe a blade of grass. He catches it in the flat and quickly goes down, just tripping over his own feet.
It is second down and 5. Wentz in the gun again. Sanders to his left. Slot to the far side of the field. Wentz uses motion, gives it off inside, and Sanders has nothing available. Tries to take it towards the middle, start to the right, and then come back, but there was nothing there, and he went right down.
Yeah, just not enough movement created up front by that offensive line, and they're able to get there. Cole Holcomb, the linebacker, making the stop.
What you don't want to do with this possession is go 1, 2, 3 and out. On the game, they're 5 for 8. This is third and manageable. 3rd and 3. Wentz in the gun. Motion to the far side of the field, and Greg Ward. Wentz looks, fires. It's a low ball, and it's low, and it's knocked out of the hands of Greg Ward as it arrived. And as we feared, the Eagles go 1, 2, 3 and out.
Now, I like the play call. It's a good situation to just speed him out into the flat, but it's a ball that's thrown behind him, low and in behind, and the defender's able to get there and get a hit on the football and pull it away. Danny Johnson makes the stop.
And the punt, Cam Johnston. And the return, Steven Sims. Johnston gets it away. It is a high end-over-end punt. Backing up and taking it and trying to do something with it is Sims. He is being knifed in. Penalty flag down. He's tackled. He's tackled at the 12-yard line. And I think this is going to come back half the distance.
Yeah, it's going to be a block in the back on our old friend Wendell Smallwood.
Yep. Thank you, Wendell Smallwood. 53-yard punt. He lost 3 yards on it, and it's going to come back to about the 6-yard line.
But they get that first possession, and they do absolutely nothing with it. Not a good start.
There's no foul on the play. The action in question is deemed legal. Timeout.
There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WI. The Eagles did not get what they needed from the offense on their first possession. Can the defense do something to set a tone here in the second half? Eagles trail by 4 at 14-10. Only a minute and a half gone here in the second half. 1st and 10 Redskins. Block in the back. They said it was deemed legal. By whom? At any rate, 1st and 10 as Haskins goes under center. Peterson, the single setback. Motion. Harmon on 1st down. Handoff goes to Peterson, and he slashes up to the 15-yard line, a pickup of 4 on the play. Fletcher Cox makes the stop. Where is Fletcher Cox, Mike? He hasn't really been creating a lot of trouble.
Well, this time he's able to get off the block, but, yeah, he's not getting into the backfield. He's not the Fletcher that we've come to expect. And this entire defensive front, they're not getting a lot of pressure on Dwayne Haskins. Not a lot of hits on him. They've got to pressure him better if they're going to slow down this passing attack.
Henches, the tight end, in motion. This time play action as Haskins rolls, and it's incomplete as he wanted Sims. Tried to sidearm it to Sims. If he had caught it, he would have gone nowhere. Eagles were all over him, so now the Redskins have a 3rd down. It's 3rd down and about 6.
They're coming off the edge this time, coming from the backside, and Avonte Maddox gets into the backfield, forces that early throw.
This defense could really use a turnover.
This is not an offense, Merrill, that turns the ball over a whole lot. If you watch how the Redskins play, they don't score a lot of points, but they're not turning it over.
Well, Haskins has 7 interceptions. He's in the gun with Thompson to his right. Haskins back. He's starting to run. He stops, and he is tackled short of the 1st down. Rodney McLeod came up and made the tackle.
Yeah, and the smartest thing Rodney McLeod did here, when he got close to Haskins, he gathered himself so that he would avoid that cutback. Haskins tries to cut it back, but he's under enough control, McLeod is, to get him to the ground.
Eagles ought to get some good field position out of this. Greg Ward is back, standing outside of his 30. Dropping back to punt is Tress Way, standing at his 3. Ball is snapped. The punt is away. It's very high. Ward comes up. He signals for a fair catch, and he makes it back at the 30-yard line, near the 30-yard line. Timeout on the field with the score remaining. The Redskins 14, the Eagles 10. On the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day. 14-10 Redskins. We have 11:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Eagles went 1-2-3 and out. This is their 2nd possession. They take over on their own 34, moving right to left here in the 3rd quarter in their green pants and white jerseys.
And I think the numbers tell you what the Eagles think about this defense. They've thrown the ball 24 times. They've run it only 15 times, so they feel like the passing game is what's going to work.
Receiver split. Whiteside out to the near side of the field. Wentz under center. Motion. This time, Wentz moving with the football off to Sanders, and he gets a couple.
Yeah, and that run game just doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
That's the only thing they've had going, but this time the Redskins have tightened it up, and they're lucky they get 2 yards on that. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Wentz lines them up, slot to the near side of the field. Ertz in the near side slot. Lone receiver to the far side. Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his left. Wentz fakes, looks, fires incomplete. He wanted Wentz. He wanted Ertz this time. Wentz tried to go to Ertz, and the ball thrown low.
Yeah, it's going to be a flag on the play, though. And
personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 94, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Boy, they get a break there.
Yeah, they get a real break here because they're blitzing the Eagles, and this is not picked up at all. And Carson Wentz tries to get the ball to Zach Ertz on the slant. That play was cut off.
He hit him high.
Eagles are very fortunate here.
That was a helmet hit by Landon Collins. 5 penalties by the Redskins. So the Eagles have a 1st and 10 up at the 49, their own 49. Slot to the near far side. 2 receivers grouped to the far side. Boston Scott in the game. Perkins comes in motion, sets up in the near side slot. Wentz under center. Wentz back, he fakes. He's looking. He steps up. He is hit. The football is loose. Redskins have it. Running with the football. Wentz fumbles again. And the Redskins have the ball at the 45-yard line. I don't know what Wentz was doing. Now, the Eagles are saying they have it. The Eagles are saying they have the ball.
Well, Carson wants to say that he tried to throw the football.
Ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense and fumbled and recovered by the offense.
So the Eagles got it back.
First down, Philadelphia.
Eagles got it back. That turnover brought to you by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Let Jack Impriano and his team turn over your old roof with a brand new, beautiful roof. Visit Impriano.com.
Very fortunate to get that ball back. Carson was trying to say that he tried to flick the ball out into the flat, but he fumbles the football.
Well, the Eagles are going to get it back. That is ruled a fumble. You know, that might, if I'm watching it,
it's an incomplete pass.
It's an incomplete pass.
And if I'm the Redskins, I challenge this just so that they, at least the Eagles lose the down.
Well, the Eagles do have the football, but
in reality,
the previous play is under further review.
Well, they don't have to challenge it if it's considered a turnover. I think that is
because of the change of possessions, they're going to review it upstairs, and I think it's going to be an incomplete pass.
I do too. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Redskins 4-8
right here on 94 WIP.
We just had the AAA official review. AAA roadside is their strong side. Make AAA part of your game plan at AAA.com. As Mike pointed out, it was an incomplete pass. Carson Wentz had control of the ball and flicked it forward, and it was incomplete. So the Eagles will have a 2nd down and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Redskins.
And the result of all of this is just a loss of down.
So it is not a fumble on Carson Wentz. And if you watch it in slow motion, you can see that he did have control of the ball and did a pretty good job of avoiding a sack. Sanders and Scott both in. Scott flanked as a receiver. Wentz under center on 2nd down. Scott in motion. Wentz pitches this time to Sanders. Tries to get outside, breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, but still doesn't get far as he is knocked out of bounds along the near sideline after a short pickup.
But look at how the defense is flying around for the Redskins. A 3-win team, but boy, they're not playing like it. And Landon Collins, he gets away from that tackle, and Collins would have stopped him for a loss, but Sanders able to get out of that, and he put this offense now in a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, and they're in too many 3rd and longs. 5 for 9 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and long. They have to get down to the 38 of the Redskins for a 1st down. Wentz in the gun. He's got Scott to his right. Slots to either side. Back goes Wentz. Here comes the rush. Wentz fires complete. Ertz, 1st down. Here's the combination.
Yep.
Wentz to Ertz.
I'm just wondering if the wide receivers can add anything to this offense. Yeah, they're running down the field, and this time Greg Ward at least gets a clear out. He clears out that outside zone so that Zach Ertz can run that out cut into an open space, but boy, they need to add a little bit more.
Whiteside and out to the far side. Ward next to him. The handoff goes to Sanders, and Sanders is rolled down. This time it's Boston Scott who's rolled down hard at about the 34-yard line. Scott lined up in the backfield that time, and he picked up a couple. That's it. Slot to the far side. Boston Scott stays in. Wentz under center on 2nd down. He fakes to Scott. He rolls. He looks. He fires. He completes it. And coming down to the 30 and down to about the 29 is Dallas Goedert. That will put the Eagles in a manageable 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, but if he looks at the next level, this is one of those plays where you want to get 3 levels of that zone. And downfield, he's got Ertz on a corner route, and that would have been the big play.
Eagles are 6 for 10 on 3rd downs. Perkins split to the near side. Ertz out to the far side. Scott in the backfield. Now motion to the near side. Ertz on the left side. This time the handoff goes to Scott, and he plunges forward, and he's very close. There was a little bit of a crack, and Scott hit it in a hurry. Brought down by Orchard.
And he got the 1st down.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He picked it up.
But that burst of speed is so important. And it was that burst of speed that got him beyond the marker to give him a fresh set of downs.
That's all he needs is a little bit of daylight. He's got great quickness. 1st and 10. Ball at the Redskins, 26. Sanders back in. Wentz under center. Eagles trail by 4 here in the third quarter. 8:26 remaining in the third quarter. Wentz back. He's looking. He is firing. He wants Ertz. Overthrown, incomplete. Ertz was very closely covered on the play by Landon Collins. Wentz put it up there, and it was maybe 3 yards too far.
No, he's got opportunities with both of his targets. He's got Joshua Perkins, who outruns the defender on the outside, and from the inside, the second receiver in, Ertz outruns Collins. So he's got a choice. He, of course, chooses Zach Ertz, but it should have been a touchdown.
Here we are. It is 2nd down and 10 from the 26. 3 receivers grouped to the near side. Sanders in the backfield. Wentz under center. He fakes to Sanders. He dumps it off to Sanders. Sanders runs hard, breaks the tackle, takes it to the outside, and takes it down to about the 20-yard line with the screen. Jimmy Moreland forces him out of bounds. It will put the Eagles in a 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to put yourself in 3rd and 4 or 5 situation.
They have to get to the 16-yard line for a 1st down. Eagles are 7 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. Wentz in the gun, slots to either side. Scott goes in motion, sets up to the left of Wentz. Wentz takes the snap, he's back, he looks, he screens it out to Scott, and Scott runs hard and has the 1st down. Scott caught the ball over his left shoulder, ran hard, and picked it up. The Eagles are in the Miele's red zone. $100 donation to Justice Rescue.
Yeah,
Boy, where would they be without Boston Scott lately?
Well, and Carson puts it right on him.
Yeah,
it's not a ball that you've got to maneuver or make an adjustment for. It's right on the numbers. It allows him to keep his momentum going forward and picking up the 1st down.
They go with 3 tight ends. Scott in the near side slot inside of Perkins. 2 receivers grouped to the far side. 1st and 10, Eagles. Ball at the 16. Now Wentz repositions Sanders and wants a timeout.
Yeah, he's running out of time. That play
First
clock.
charge, timeout,
Yep.
Philadelphia, 30 seconds.
The play clock was going to back them up with a delay of game penalty, 5 yards. So rather than take that, he takes a timeout.
Here's John Russell with an NFL update.
Down in Charlotte, North Carolina, Merrill, the Seahawks trying to win their way into a playoff berth. Couple of Russell Wilson TD passes. They lead the Panthers 20-7. Reed Matol, you love everything Reed Matol does for you. Reed Matol sells more, so you save more on every new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram in stock.
Eagles trail 14-10 with 7:06 remaining in the third quarter. Eagles have a 1st and 10 at the Washington 16-yard line. Let's see what they come up with. They break the huddle. Perkins goes out to the far side with Whiteside. Now split wide to the near side. Sanders split. Ertz in the slot. Motion. Goddard goes left to right. Wentz fires out, screens. Running with the ball is Goddard. Goddard lurches himself close to the 10-yard line. A pickup of 6. Bostic makes the stop. John Bostic.
And it's a smart play in that situation. And the Redskins, they drop coverage. They only bring 3 guys. They're trying to clog up every possible gap in that defense. So 3 men they rush, they drop back in coverage, and they're able to make the quick stop. This is the 12th play of this drive.
It is 2nd down and 4. The ball at the 10. Wentz under center. He's got Sanders behind him, and now the penalty flags come. And Ciamalo is pointing to the Redskins, but I think the Eagles are going to get a false start.
No, I think the Eagles should get 5 yards out of this.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty.
That's a bad call. That's a bad call. Seumalo, when he saw them come across the line, he stood up, as he should, and it should have gone against the Redskins.
But it didn't. And now the Eagles have a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, I know it didn't.
I know. What can you do? Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his right. Slot to the near side of the field. Back goes Wentz. He's looking. He's looking. Now he starts to roll. He's going to run. He is running and he's firing, and it is incomplete.
That's a touchdown.
Oh, no. Is it? Is it? They are calling it a touchdown to Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders caught it on the far side of the field. Wentz looked like he was going to run through it on the far side of the field, and Sanders just stayed in.
It's a laser. Carson Wentz didn't, the play downfield initially was disrupted. He rolls out of the pocket to his right and just casually, and then he just guns a laser into the corner of the end zone.
Boy, what a play.
That nearly goes through the chest of Miles Sanders.
Well, the Eagles regain the lead. It is 16-14. Every Eagles touchdown driven by Delaware Valley Honda Dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com.
That's a heck of a catch by Miles Sanders.
It really is.
That's a lot of sauce on that football.
Woo.
And it hits him right in the chest. It knocks him over, but he hangs on to it.
Boy, I didn't think he hung on to it. It was so close to the sideline, I couldn't tell. Now let's see again. He has it. He does have it. Here is the extra point. Spotted, kicked up. And it is good. And there's a timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 17, Washington 14 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the... That was a great Hands. Play of the game sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. De-stress after the game with massages and facials. Starting at $59.95. Just at handandstone.com.
Miles Sanders on the day, 18 touches. 14 in the run game, 4 in the pass game, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns and a Jake Elliott field goal. That's why the Eagles have 17, and Jake Elliott just kicked it beyond the end zone. Let's go down to Howard.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here now. Brandon Brooks is in the medical tent. I am not sure what they're checking yet, but I do not see the independent neurologist on the field. So that could be part of it. But when I get further information, I'll pass it on. Back up to you.
Eagles lead 17-14. We've got 5:53 remaining to be played here in the third quarter. That was quite a drive.
It's an impressive drive, and it's the way they have to play, just a ball control style. But now you have to expect the Redskins are going to try and go deep on you.
You're right. They have 3 tight ends. On first down, it's a handoff to Peterson, and Peterson plows forward for about 3 yards. Brought down by Malcolm Jenkins, who came up to force.
Yeah, somewhere in this possession, you got to expect that they're going to try and get their speed guys on the field and now try and exploit your secondary.
Well, the guy to fear most is McLaren. He had a 75-yard touchdown reception in the first possession. It is 2nd down and 7. Ferguson in. They go with a quick pitch to Ferguson, and Ferguson makes a man miss and takes it up to the 35-yard line. So he picks up a first down. Josh Ferguson, who came in. He's been elevated from their practice squad, and Peterson comes back in the lineup. This defense really has to step it up.
Yeah, this is a possession where they really need to get off the field, and especially with the offense now starting to create a little momentum.
And they've got to do something like sack Haskins or pick off a pass. Peterson back in, McLaurin by his lonesome all the way out to the far side of the field. Now Harmon goes in motion to the far side. Haskins fakes. He gives off to Peterson this time, and Peterson is grabbed at the line of scrimmage by Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham came up. -2. He got him in the backfield.
Well, Brandon Graham just runs right through the face of the tight end who's trying to block him and into their backfield.
It is 2nd down and 12. Redskins moving left to right.
Just a mano-a-mano, and Brandon Graham wins against the tight end.
Peterson, 10 carries, 39 yards. He stays in. It is 2nd down and 12. Eagles jumping along the line of scrimmage. Haskins in the shotgun. Haskins back. Looks left. Fires left. Complete. First down. He's got a quick slant to Terry McLaurin, who just beats Ronald Darby. And I'll tell you what, Haskins is throwing the ball very accurately.
He is. I mean, it's a slant route. It's as simple as it gets, but it's an outstanding job of putting it where it needs to be. And now they're in a 3rd and short situation.
Yeah, he's just short. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. 3rd and 1. They go with 3 tight ends. Let's see if the Eagles stop them right here. We have 3:17 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Eagles leading 17-14.
Well, and the Redskins are only 2 for 6 on 3rd down conversion.
Under center is Haskins. He's big enough to sneak if he wants. He doesn't. He hands it off to Peterson. He breaks a tackle. He's got yardage, and he's got a first down. They had him stacked up at the line of scrimmage. For a moment, he was going to be short, but he kept pumping the legs and broke away and picked up about 11 yards.
Yeah, they just don't wrap him up, and if you don't wrap him up, he's going to keep going. It's as simple as that.
Number 66 is reported as an eligible receiver. Number 66 is an eligible receiver.
They go with the tackle eligible. 1st and 10 Redskins. They're at the Eagles' 46. Peterson stays in. Haskins under center. Slot to the far side of the field. They go with a fake. They go with a screen. And Peterson has the football across the 40 and lunges for the 38. They screened to Peterson that time after faking the end around, and Peterson was the recipient and 7 more yards.
Well, Rodney McLeod does an outstanding job of recognizing what's going on, but the flaw is when he comes up to tackle Peterson, he doesn't wrap him up. Peterson jumps over him and down the field for a 7-yard pickup.
It is 2nd down and 3 for Washington. They go with a fullback this time. Mike Burton, the upback. Peterson, the tailback. This time, they give it back to Peterson again, and he plunges forward. Let's see where they spot it. He is short of the first down, I believe. It will be 3rd down and 1.
Well, and he wants it. Adrian Peterson wants to be a big part of their offense, and they're feeding him the ball today.
It is really a matter of inches. They go with 3 tight ends. Haskins is such a big guy, you would think that he could just lurch forward. They go with an eye under formation. Peterson, the deep back. Haskins looks. He runs. He's open. He's at the 30, 25, 20, and he's banged down short of the 10. That time Haskins on a quarterback draw took a step back, and the right side was open.
Now, it's a really good play call here. It's that option, Merrill, that they ran earlier in the football game when he pitched it to Adrian Peterson. Well, on this one, they take away Peterson on the option. So what does he do? He tucks it, and he gets north and south with the football. Yep. And it's a good decision by Haskins and a good play call by the Redskins.
And the Redskins are knocking on the door once again. Eagles leading by 3, but the Redskins have a 1st and 10 at the 14. Haskins under center. Motion to the near side of the field with the tight end. Haskins on 1st down goes to Peterson. Peterson breaks a tackle and plows further into Eagles territory. They have him, and then they don't. You're right, they have not wrapped him up. Bradham and Edwards.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
You know, they make that adjustment on the option with Duke Riley taking away the halfback. But
Malcolm Jenkins tomorrow 2:30 with Marks and Reese, 94 WIP.
Sports weeknights 6 to 10 here on 94 WIP.
There are 15 minutes left in the game. Call Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15%. Eagles lead 17-14. Redskins 2nd down and 6 from the Eagles' 10-yard line.
And the Redskins this season have not been a real good red zone scoring team, but today that seems to be different.
Haskins under center. He gives it off to Peterson. Peterson reverses his field, and runs into the end zone. He was stopped on the left side. He ran across the field and then ran in. And the Redskins take the lead right back.
He goes around the left side, and you're right, there are a lot of bodies on that left side, but when he reverses his field, he's able to run past everybody and into the end zone.
So once again, the Eagles are going to have to come from behind. Plenty of time. We're just 7 seconds into the fourth quarter. So here is Hopkins for the extra point. Spotted, kicked up, and it is good. Stats brought to you by PNC Bank. For more than 150 years, PNC Bank has been right here at the heart of the community, investing in our students, our businesses, and our people. PNC make today the day. 21-17, Washington leads.
And that's a 10-play drive that covers 75 yards, and the Redskins go on top once again, 10-yard sprint to the end zone. Carson Wentz on the day so far, 19 of 32 passing the ball, 177 yards and a passing touchdown.
You know, this defense just has not been good enough, Mike.
No, not at all. And I still give credit to what Washington's doing, because I think they're mixing things up real well. I think their plan of attack has been good, and I think their young quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, I think he's played an outstanding game.
He really has.
I don't know if he's played a better game in his young career.
He absolutely has not.
And then Adrian Peterson, the ageless one, just doing it to this defense again.
They lost Darius Geis, their young, talented ball carrier, but Peterson has been terrific. Here is the kickoff, and it goes in and out of the end zone. Looking for activity for your child? While the schools are closed for the winter break, join the Eagles cheerleaders on December 27th for the Eagles Holiday Cheer and Dance Workshop. Your tickets now at PhiladelphiaEagles.com/holiday cheer. Eagles have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 25, moving from our left to our right here in the fourth quarter. They trail 21-17. They have done very little with the wide receivers. Greg Ward grouped over on the far side with Goddard and Whiteside. Rob Davis to the near side. Ward in motion. Wentz on first down is back. He gets away. He fumbles the football, but the Eagles have it back. It's recovered. Fortunately, he was stripped of the football by Ryan Anderson, but it was recovered by the Eagles. Fortunately.
So he tries to duck under Ryan Anderson, and when that pressure comes, and once he tries to load up and just get the ball out of his hands, he ends up fumbling the football. I think it's Sayamalo who gets on the...
I think it was Vitae, Mike.
Was it Big V? He gets on the football and saves him another huge turnover.
Yeah, that was knocked out of his hands.
And it is Vitae on the spot to save the day.
For the third time in this game, the Eagles trail the Redskins. Now it is 21-17, and they're in the fourth quarter. 14:38 remaining in regulation. Eagles have a 2nd down and 18 after the Wentz fumble fortunately recovered. Scott to the right of Wentz. Motion, Ward. This time Wentz screens out to Scott. He makes a man miss. He's at the 20, and he's brought down at the 25. Play picks up 9 yards.
You know, you don't know where it's going to come from, but even the Redskins know at this stage in the game when they need a big chunk, they go to the screen game, and Boston Scott does a nice job of maneuvering. And unfortunately, Fabian Merrill comes from behind and clipped him after a nice pickup.
The Eagles are 8 for 12 on 3rd downs. This again is 3rd and long. It is 3rd and 11. Wentz in the gun. He's got Sanders to his right. Wentz Gives off to Sanders. Sanders running with the football. He's got a first down and more. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's inside the 20. He's down to the 16. Miles Sanders. He's doing it by himself today.
He's a beast. He's a beast. He bounces this play to the outside, and he just sprints, and he's trying to get to the end zone. He's finally run down for the stop.
They're in the Mealy's Red Zone, $100 donation to Justice Rescue. 56-yard run. Puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Monte Nicholson finally is able to get down there and make him and get the stop before he goes into the end zone.
Slot to the near side with Goddard. Inside of Whiteside. Wentz in the gun. Boston Scott to his left. On first down, it goes to Scott. Scott slashes and runs and takes it down close to the 10. Boston Scott. Sanders, 15 carries, 120 yards.
Wow. His first 100-yard rushing game. This is a big day for Miles Sanders.
He's got 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. What a day for him. Robert Davis split to the near side. It is 2nd and 6. Wentz in the gun again. Boston Scott to his right. Davis out to the near side. Slot to the far side. Wentz again gives it off. Boston Scott carries it further down across the 10. We'll see where they spot this. Redskins are playing pretty tough.
You know, the little guy, Boston Scott, just hiding behind those big bodies, and the big bodies move him forward. I think he picked up the first down here, Mel.
He did pick it up.
So he gets behind those big bodies on the left side, and he just wiggles, and they get a little bit of movement, but then he slides off of those big bodies, and he gets right beyond the mark for the first down.
1st and goal from the 9.
They can keep pounding the ball in the run game against these guys.
Wentz lines them up with Sanders back in the game to his left. Ball at the 9. Give goes to Sanders. He plunges forward, driving the legs as hard as he can, and then he's thrown back. It'll be 2nd down. Eagles trail 21-17 with 11 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, remaining in regulation.
They are able to get this one down to around the 5-yard line, so that's all they need now is 5 yards to get this thing in the pay dirt. And the way they're running the football, I just think that they can continue that and get it into the end zone.
It is 2nd and goal from the 5. Wentz takes a low snap. He picks it up. He looks. He starts to dash. He's going to run. He does. And he stops and he plunges down at about the 2. Wentz takes it close to the 2-yard line that time.
It's a low snap, and he's able to get a handle on the snap, and then he just tries to sprint to the outside and get it into the end zone, and you're right, he gets it down there close. And this is crunch time, Mr. Reese. So for your pregame, in-game, or post-game cravings, let's keep it Philly with her snacks.
It is 3rd and about 2.5. Is this 4-down territory? I'm not sure of that. There's a lot of time left. Wentz back. He floats it. It's caught. Touchdown! Touchdown! Who else? Zach Ertz.
Yeah, they're going to pile up. The Redskins are to try and stop this run because the Eagles are running the football down their throat. When they're thinking run, he sneaks Zach Ertz out into the flat. It's a touchdown, Green.
That could be the play of the game, brought to you by Delaware Valley Acura dealers. To experience precision-crafted performance for yourself, stop by your local Delaware Valley Acura dealer for a test drive or visit DelawareValleyAcuraDealers.com.
Great play call.
The Eagles take the lead once again as Doug Peterson comes out and jumps together with Zach Ertz. Here is the extra point to give the Eagles a 3-point lead. The question is, can the defense stop the Redskins? They haven't done a very good job of that today.
Just a little pick action.
Extra point is up, and it has been converted. Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 24, Washington 21 on the Eagles radio network. The Eagles have beaten the Redskins 5 consecutive times. But over the years prior to that stretch, there have been a lot of heartbreaks against this team. Let's hope that isn't the case today as the Eagles have regained the lead once again. Here is the kickoff by Jake Elliott as high and end over end. And taking it is Sims. And across the 5, the 10, the 15, 20, 25, 30. He is finally brought down across the 40 at the 45-yard line by Jake Elliott. And that is not what you wanted to see.
Oh, he is so scary with the football in his hands. And Sims, when he gets in that open, you hold your breath. But Rodney McLeod, after Jake Elliott tripped him a little bit, Rodney McLeod made the sure stop.
But that's 66 has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 66 is an eligible receiver.
That's the last thing the Eagles wanted, was to give the Redskins a short field.
Yeah.
They're at the 45-yard line.
Listen, they've gotten no sacks on the day the Eagles have, and they've gotten no takeaways from this offense.
1st and 10 for the Redskins. And on first down, back is Haskins. He is looking. He is firing. He is complete. Down across the 35-yard line to the 33 goes Terry McLaurin. They can't stay with him. They just can't stay with him.
And they can't get any pressure on Haskins. They go zone coverage this time, but McLaurin is able to find the opening in the zone and move this offense closer.
9:24 remaining in regulation. Eagles lead by 3. Haskins under center again. Peterson, the single setback. First down, they flip it to Peterson, tries to turn the corner. He does, and he's finally out of bounds, and there's a penalty flag on the far sideline. Let's see about this. Might be holding against the Redskins. I'm not sure.
During the run, holding. Offense number 76.
It is.
No, it wasn't really a hold. It was a tackle.
Morgan Moses.
Morgan Moses running out on the edge and literally tackles Rodney McLeod.
9:07 remaining in regulation, 24-21 Eagles. Redskins will have a 1st and 20 at the Eagles 43. Eagles have to make a play. They need a sack. They need an interception. They need to create a fumble and recover it. They need to do something. Redskins back at the Eagles 43. Just when the Eagles regain the lead, they give up a long kickoff return, a 45-yard return. 1st and 20, Redskins. Haskins again in the gun. Haskins, who has 7 interceptions on the season, is back. Fires over the middle, completes the pass to Sims down at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 8. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. Washington moving right to left in their burgundy jerseys and white pants here in the 4th quarter.
I'll tell you what, you really don't see any type of pressure coming in the middle of that Redskins offensive line. They've done a nice job of giving Haskins a lot of time to throw the football.
Chris Thompson in the game to the right of Haskins. Haskins straight back. He's looking. He dumps it into an open territory, incomplete. Vinny Curry is just beside himself. He thinks he's being held. He is just so upset. You can see the frustration from 40 yards away.
And he's correct. He's being held, and he's just not getting the call.
It will be 3rd down and 12 for the Redskins. They are just about in field goal range.
And they're 50% on 3rd downs. They're 4 of 8 on the day.
They have to get to the Eagles 22 for a 1st down. Haskins lines them up. Slot to the near side. Lone receiver to the far side. Back goes Haskins. He lets it go. It's incomplete. It whizzes by Sims. The pressure created that. He let it go early.
I tell you, this is a real good call by Jim Swartz. He's going to bring deep pressure from the secondary. And on the snap, you see the blaze coming after Haskins. Haskins quickly gets rid of the ball. It's an errant throw. But also his intended retarget, Steven Sims, he's looking up that defender. He doesn't want a headache. He's looking up the defender, forcing the Redskins to now punt the football.
This will be a 53-yard
field goal.
53-yard attempt. Ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's got the distance, and it is good, and we are tied. Hopkins with a 53-yarder.
Another tie game.
It is a timeout on the field with the score 24 apiece on the Eagles Radio Network. Stats brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC supporting our businesses, investing in our community, and cheering on our sports teams for more than 150 years.
Carson Wentz, 21 of 34, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. And again, Miles Sanders is that guy today. 16 carries, 124 yards, a touchdown, and also a receiving touchdown.
Those of us who were hoping that the Eagles could build a lead and cruise home with a win are not getting our wish. It is going to go all the way. It is 24 apiece with just over 8 minutes remaining in regulation. Kickoff was in and out of the end zone. Hopkins feeling very good about himself after a 53-yard game-tying field goal here in the fourth quarter. He's been around a long time, 5th year, out of Florida State. Scott and Sanders first of both in. Eagles moving left to right. Load up at the 25-yard line. Scott deployed as a wide receiver to the far side, stacked behind Davis and Whiteside. Wentz on first down. Gives it off to Sanders, and Sanders is lucky to get back close to the line of scrimmage as the Redskins had penetrated in the person of former first-round draft pick Jonathan Allen. Actually, they lose about a yard on the play.
Got to block up that front. Jonathan Allen that time, immediate penetration and blowing up the play.
Perkins in the far side slot. Greg Ward is split wide to the near side. Whiteside. Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his right. Wentz back. He steps up. He fires. And it is complete on a diving reception by Greg Ward. Great pass. Great catch.
Yeah, the timing and the placement of that football is just hard to defend that. They run a double slant, and on the inside you've got Perkins, and the slant from Perkins really clears space for Carson to fit it in to Greg Ward on the outside slant.
They go with 3 tight ends. It is 3rd down and 2. Wentz in an empty backfield. 3rd and 2. Now motion to the near side as Sanders positioned to the left of Wentz. 3rd and 2. Wentz takes the snap. He's looking. He steps up. He starts to run. He fumbles the football again. And this time, let's see, the Redskins, they're going to fight for it. And the Redskins have it back. Another fumble by Carson Wentz.
Yes, they do. Now, in this situation, he knows that there's pressure around him. He's got to make a decision.
The fumble recovered by Washington, first down.
And he's got to make a quick decision with the football to throw it away, try and run for the first down. And he doesn't do either one. The football is knocked out, and now the Redskins are in perfect position. Ryan Anderson is able to get a chop on the ball.
Number 66 has reported as an eligible receiver.
Anderson comes from the backside as Carson's still looking downfield and gets the football out.
Let's hope that is not the play that ends the Eagles' playoff chances. I mean, they won't be dead today, but they could be in 3rd and long. Under center is Haskins. Motion to the near side of the field. Haskins on first down. Looks, gives it off, and there's nothing there as Peterson is wrestled to the ground. It'll be 2nd down. They are in at least field goal position to take the lead. Kerry made that last tackle. It'll be 2nd down for Washington and 10. Nothing there.
And Washington is in no hurry. They want to allow the clock to run all the way down. And watch them. They'll let it get all the way down to single digits before the ball is snapped.
It's under 6 minutes remaining in regulation. 24-24. Haskins in the gun. 3 receivers all to the near side of the field. McLaurin takes off in motion to the far side. Haskins back. He's looking left. He is floating it deep, and it is incomplete. Intended for Sims, broken up by Maddox.
Yeah, they wanted to turn out the lights on this team on that play. They get Sims going downfield. Maddox in really tight position. Fortunate that he didn't get a flag on the play, but it's tight coverage, and they get another shot now on third down.
They have to get to the Eagles' 24 for a first down. They are already in field goal range.
No sacks, no turnovers. They're not even forcing hurries on the quarterback.
Thompson to the right of Haskins. Now, they throw a flag. No, there's a challenge flag. They're going to challenge interference. I don't think this is going to be turned over. If Bill Callahan is challenging pass interference, now from what we have seen this season, it's got to be really flagrant to be overturned.
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field of no defensive pass interference. The play is under review.
I think they're just going to lose a timeout. This is the AAA official review. AAA roadside is their strong side. Make AAA part of your game plan at AAA.com.
So I think it gives the Eagles time to rest up and adjust, and also giving the Redskins time to figure out what they're going to do next, because I think you're right, Merrill. I don't think they're going to win this. There are not many of these things that are overturned, but the last time that I thought that they wouldn't overturn it, they did. But I just don't think they'll win this one.
But I think, Mike, in all fairness, the last time it was when Doug Peterson challenged, and it didn't come up. But what was overturned was in Miami, I believe. And I believe it was really flagrant that time. I don't think this one is flagrant. I don't think this is one that they would overturn. At least there's not much consistency this year, but they have not overturned many of these.
And there's not much contact on the play.
No, I'll be shocked if they call this pass interference, and I'll also be extremely upset, as will all of you at home. Unless you live with a Redskin fan.
Oh, I think they would be even more upset if they are living with
After
you.
review, the ruling on the field stands. Washington is charged with their first timeout. Third down.
I think that was a pretty bad decision by Callahan to challenge. In a game like this, you better hold on to your timeouts. Both teams now have two.
And this really has given Jim Schwartz enough time to think about what they're going to do, what he's going to do to try and shut them down on this big third down situation.
Redskins are 4 for 9 on third down conversions. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Haskins is back. Haskins looking, fires over the middle, completes the pass, and being taken down short of the first down is Sims. Sims is brought down at the 25-yard line.
Well, and it's a smart call by the Redskins to try and get the ball into the hands of Sims in space, and he makes Malcolm Jenkins miss, but then he's shut down.
They are lining up for after a 53-yard field goal. This is pretty short. This is going to be a 43-yard field goal for Dustin Hopkins to give the Redskins the lead. Ball is spotted. The kick is up. The kick is away, and the kick is good, and the Redskins regain the lead at 27-24. And that came after a Carson Wentz fumble.
Yeah, too many times this season in particular, Carson has put it on the ground. Twice today. Originally it was 3, but then the one was ruled an incomplete pass. But aside from that, he's put it on the ground twice today.
PGW, delivering safe, reliable energy to Philadelphia for more than 180 years. PGW Energy for all of us. Visit pgworks.com. The last 6 Redskins points, courtesy of Hopkins. 53 and 43. 27-24 Redskins. Redskins have regained the lead 4 times. There have been so many lead changes in this game.
Yeah. It's been a seesaw.
Still plenty of time left. Boston Scott standing at the goal line. Only once has Hopkins given him something to return. This one is high, and it is deep, and it will go out of the end zone in the air. So the Eagles begin the drive at the 25-yard line. They trail by 3 points. And they are running out of time.
A little less than 5 minutes left in the football game, or in regulation play. But we saw Carson Wentz last week.
Yeah, we did.
Pull it out in the last possession, the last couple of possessions. They need to come up with that same sort of spark here in Landover.
Robert Davis out to the far side. He hasn't even been a target today. Slot to the near side. Sanders to the left of Wentz in the gun. Wentz on first down. Gives it to Sanders. Sanders breaks 1 tackle, stays on his feet, and loses 2 yards. Tried to get outside. There was nothing there. Tried to reverse his field. There was nothing there. And Ryan Anderson, who's been a real pain, causing fumbles, just brought him down for a loss of 2.
That defense is coming in, and it was the pressure by Montez Sweat getting around Jason Peters that disrupted the play and forced Miles Sanders to change his course before the play even got off to a start.
It is 2nd and 12, shotgun double wing. Ertz to the far side slot. Goddard to the near side. The wide side is wide right. Back goes Wentz. He's looking. He flips it over and completes it to Sanders. And Sanders running hard, but he's taken out of bounds as he gets to the 30-yard line, putting the Eagles in a 3rd down and 4. Pickup of 6. Time wasting. Goes out of bounds, stops the clock with 4 minutes and 1 second remaining. I think the Eagles are in 4-down territory right here.
And they're trying to keep eyes on Miles Sanders. He goes out right now, and Boston Scott is in for him, trying to give him a little bit of a break.
It is 3rd and 5. Empty backfield. Wentz repositions Scott to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Wentz stamps his right foot, calls for the football. He's back. He's looking. He's still looking. He fires, and it's complete. Penalty flag down, but the pass is complete to Greg Ward running across the 40-yard line. Now let's see about the call. I would think it's holding against the Redskins in the secondary.
And you're right. It's going to be a holding call.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, holding. Defense, number 47. That penalty decline. Result of the play is 1st down.
Yeah, but Greg Ward does enough to get open, and Carson Wentz keeping this play alive with pressure all around him. And it's one of the things that he can do, and sometimes it works in his favors, and this is one of the times.
Goddard goes out. Rob Davis comes in. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 6 yards shy of midfield. 3:54 remaining in regulation. And the gun is Wentz. Scott to his right. Whiteside in motion to the left. Back goes Wentz. Wentz steps up. He screens it out to Scott. Scott makes a man miss. He's on his feet and comes to the midfield marker. Scott, even when he's surrounded, finds a way to get 7 yards. Good block by Ciamalo.
Yeah, but he's so low to the ground. He makes it very difficult to really get a good shot on him. And Boston Scott just making a play out of that.
He's not a flash in the pan. He's here to stay. Sanders and Scott both in this time. Sanders aligned as a wide receiver to the near side of the field. It is 2nd down and 4. Wentz in the shotgun again. Wentz takes the snap, gives it off to Scott. Up the middle he goes, and he has another 1st down. Brought down by Jonathan Allen. He's doing it, Mike.
Well, as long as that offensive line is doing it, and again, they're able to get movement up front, get movement against that defensive front. If they can get movement, he's going to get you 3 or 4 every play with any little bit of movement.
It is 1st and 10. Ball at the Redskins 45. Eagles trail by 3. 2 minutes plus remaining in regulation. Sanders behind Wentz on first down. Wentz back. Wentz looking. Wentz firing. Diving reception down inside the 30, and down goes Goddard. Goddard made a great catch.
What a catch. Oh, my goodness. In traffic, Dallas Goddard just sticks out the left paw, and the ball just hangs on to that left paw. He gets up and gets a couple after that. But this is an outstanding job. First of all, getting that football off in an area where Goddard can make the catch, and the one-hander by Dallas Goddard.
What a great play by Goddard, who reached out with that big left hand and then nestled it to his chest as he went down. And here they go. It is 1st and 10. Ball at the 24. Wentz in the gun. Wentz back one more time. He screens it to Sanders. Sanders is taken down inside the 30.
They've run that screen so many times that the defenders are now starting to feel it. When the Eagles allow them to get upfield, they're starting to feel that lack of pressure and getting out into the screen.
And right now we're going to get the 2-minute warning with the score. The Redskins 27, the Eagles 24.
So they've got a guy down, the Redskins do, and they're taking a little bit of time to figure out what exactly to do.
Now, when we get the 2-minute warning, it will be brought to you by Tasty Cake. Make happy happen with your hometown favorite snack, Tasty Cake. Visit Tasty Cake on Facebook today. So we've got the 2-minute warning on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by 27-24 Redskins. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. Eagles inside the Washington 30 with a 2nd down and 13 after the loss by Sanders on that carry. Eagles break the huddle with Ward inside of Whiteside. Slot to the near side of the field. Sanders split wide. Wentz in an empty backfield. Now Sanders sets up to the right of Wentz. Wentz lines them up. Calls for the football. Here we go. Wentz takes the snap. Looks left. Fires. Complete. Ward dives down. I think he has another 1st down. Danny Johnson stacks them up. They are in the Mealy's red zone. It means a $100 donation to Justice Rescue.
Greg Ward catches this ball and he gets it down. He knows he's got a 1st down. He gets down. I thought they were going to go tempo offense, but they decided to go into the huddle and try and figure out how to attack this defense more.
They're down at the 15-yard line. Wentz again in the shotgun. Whiteside in the near side slot. Goes in motion. Wentz gives the football off, and Sanders pushes and pulls. Not a whole lot there. Sweat makes the stop. Clock still ticking. 1:08, 1:07. Eagles trail by 3. Line of scrimmage. The 14.
So they're just looking for the inside run. You know, that little jet sweep motion, they get that going. I think they're going to catch the Redskins flat-footed.
Boston Scott to the left of Wentz. Slot, 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Wentz back. He's looking. He's pumping. He is firing. It's caught. Greg Ward pushing and shoving down to about the 5-yard line. Greg Ward again. Let's see where they spot that football.
Second charge, timeout, Philadelphia. 30 seconds.
It'll be 1st and goal at the 4.
Please reset the game clock to 32 seconds.
This timeout brought to you by Wawa. Wawa Classic Hoagies are made for you with delicious ingredients on a freshly baked roll. Wawa is the official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles. We have 32 seconds remaining in regulation. Redskins 27, Eagles 24.
Listen, the defender trying to guard Greg Ward in that situation. On Greg Ward's cut at the top of his route, he was just thrown off balance. Ward ends up wide open, getting to the outside, and he gets beyond the 1st down marker.
Wentz under center. Wentz firing, and it is caught. Is it a touchdown? Is it a touchdown? It is. Caught in the far surrounding as the pass goes deep into the end zone to Greg Ward.
Carson Wentz, again, gets that offense to the line of scrimmage. They don't allow the Redskins time to set their defense. They quick snap the ball. He throws a lob into the corner of the end zone. Greg Ward with a big touchdown.
Greg Ward with the touchdown. We had to wait for the officials to raise their arms. But a great pass by Wentz and a great catch by Ward. Greg Ward, where have you been all our lives?
26 seconds only remaining on the game clock.
This drive is on Ward. He has made play after play.
Wow.
This is a big extra point. This is a big extra point to give the Eagles a 4-point lead.
They run a bunch set, and Josh Norman is the guy on Ward.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And the Eagles now have the lead at 31-27. Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com.
They go 11 plays on, and listen, this is the good part. 4 minutes, almost 4.5 minutes they consume on this clock, so they're only leaving 26 seconds on the clock. But Greg Ward came up huge in this last possession, and I love the fact that they understand that the Redskins are going to line up slowly. They quick snap the Redskins, they get the football off, and that lob in the corner of the end zone, loving it.
A field goal will do the Redskins no good. And believe it or not, there are fans leaving this stadium.
I can believe it.
It's not over yet. I will not feel safe.
I'll tell you what scares me is Steven Sims getting the ball in his hands, and he's a great kick returner, so you have to make sure and have to close in on him and get him to the ground.
Here is the kickoff. It is high. It is very high. Sims backs up, takes it at the goal line. Out to the 5, 10, 15, and he is leaping over a man and finally brought down up across the 30-yard line. But that is still a long way away, and there are only 18 seconds remaining.
Craig James finally gets him, and now I can breathe. When he gets the ball in his hands, you really, literally hold your breath.
Well, I am still holding my breath because there is a guy who wears number 17 named Terry McLaurin who has tortured this team this season.
Yeah, and what's scary is the fact that they haven't been able to hit Haskins, get pressure on Haskins all afternoon long.
Redskins have 2 timeouts. Haskins in the gun. He's back. He's still looking. He's still looking. He fires, and he completes it to Harmon. Harmon is tackled immediately short of the 50.
Yeah, and
11 seconds.
Immediately they get a timeout.
Yep.
Second charge timeout, Washington, 30 seconds.
Game
clock operator, please put 13 seconds on the game clock.
Field goal means nothing. Eagles lead by 4. Eagles lead 31-27. Can they complete this job? Hold your breath. It's not over. It's not over until the clock shows 00. But they are still over a half a football field away as Haskins lines them up. Redskins down to their last timeout. Haskins back. He steps up. He is looking. He starts to run. He fires it. He completes it. And pushing forward and out of bounds is Chris Thompson down at the 42-yard line. And there are 6 seconds left. So it's Hail Mary time for the Redskins right here.
Yeah, with 6 seconds on the clock, can't imagine they're going to get more than one more play. So that back wall, that back line of defense, they've got to make sure that they are that. The back line, and they're able to stop anything from going over their head.
Cam Sims in the game. 3 receivers right. McLaurin left. Haskins in the gun. Haskins is back. He's looking. He steps up. He's hit. He tries to lateral the ball. It's picked up. Running with the football down the sideline is Branham, and Branham goes all the way into the end zone. Touchdown. It's over.
Turn the lights out. Turn out the lights. This baby is over.
Whoa.
Jim Schwartz sends a blitz at Haskins. They finally get a hit on him. The football comes out. Nigel Branham picks it up. He sprints to the end zone. Lights out.
The Eagles survive. This is more survival than anything else. That sack brought to you by Steakum, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia by donating $100 for every sack throughout the season to Phil Abundance.
The clock shows zeros.
Every Eagles touchdown.
The touchdown is confirmed. This is the end of the game.
Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com. You look up on the scoreboard, and it shows a 10-point win. It shows the Eagles winning 37-27. But believe me, until that last fumble, this decision was in doubt. Carson Wentz had to pick them up once again and drive them in for a touchdown to take the final lead of the game. And let me tell you something else. A little guy by the name of Greg Ward was worth his weight in gold today, and so was Boston Scott. But if you're looking for the player of the game, it's the number 2 draft choice out of Penn State. Miles Sanders was, in a word, magnificent.
He was huge.
That turnover brought to you by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Let Jack Impriano and his team turn over your old roof with a brand new, beautiful roof. Visit Impriano.com. Go Rams! Bring on the Cowboys. Tackle your gas and electricity costs like 180,000 businesses in North America who trust Direct Energy Business to help them make their business better. Find out how to score big by visiting business.directenergy.com. We are sorry for your heart palpitations this afternoon, but we are thrilled with the ultimate result. Eagles are now 7-7 on the season. Let's go down to Howard.
All right, Merrill, I'm here with your favorite player. He's talking to the Redskins, but I'm here with your favorite player, and that would be, who do you think?
84, got to be Greg Ward.
Yeah, that's exactly. Greg, Merrill is excited because Merrill Reese.
What's up, Merrill?
Hey, Greg. Way to go.
Merrill?
Great job, Greg. I knew it was in you.
He knew it was in you, but when you think about where you were 4 weeks ago, and now you catch the winning touchdown in a big game, how does that make you feel?
I'm blessed, man. That's all I can feel right now. I'm just thinking about my family and all the times that we had them talks, man. It's just truly a blessing, man. The whole team believed in me. There was nothing but God, man.
You know what? Carson Wentz obviously has confidence in you. How has that increased since the time that you've now been on the active roster?
Man, you know, I feel like me and Carson had a bond way before that. It was just a matter of time that I could actually come up here and play with him. And now that I'm here, man, me and him always talk. He always believed in me. And that just give me a lot of poise, a lot of energy, and just having confidence in myself too, man. It's just really good to have a quarterback that believes in you.
All right, tell me about the winning touchdown.
We actually called that same play before, and I was wide open. And we said the next time he called it, he's gonna come to me. So we called it again. He came to me, and I actually knew that ball was coming to me on that one, and man, just made the play.
As crazy as this season is, you guys are playing now, controlling your destiny, playing for the NFC East at some point the next 1 or 2 weeks. Could you have believed that?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, you personally.
We don't. Oh, me personally. I would never believe me being on this stage, man. It's just crazy. It's truly a blessing, man. Just being able to ball, man, on a high level, on the highest level, it's just truly a blessing. But to be able to fight for this championship, man, it's unbelievable. It's a crazy experience.
Well, Merrill Reese believed you could get on a high level.
I appreciate that, Merrill. You know, man, you already talked about that. I appreciate it.
See it. Congratulations, Merrill. Here's your boy. Back up to you.
He is a terrific young football player. I remember when he hurt me, when he broke my heart, when he beat my Temple Owls as a quarterback in a playoff game. But now he has joined the home team, and he has been an outstanding young wide receiver. Any rebroadcast of this game is expressly prohibited without the advance written permission of the NFL, 94 WIP, and Entercom Communications. Our statistician, Terry Small. Spotter, Billy Werndell. Stadium engineers, Andy Coffin and Lee Alexander. Stadium chief engineer, Lane Massey. Director of engineering, Dave Scalish. Engineering supervisor, Ben Hill. Studio engineer, Anthony Foley. Studio producer, Mike Angelina. Studio assistants, Moshe Kravitz, Stan Wilson, and Tucker Bagley. And our producer, the legendary Joseph A. McPeak. Well, that will wrap up things for today. We need time to just settle down and get our blood pressure back to a reasonable number. Next Sunday, it is the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. I don't have to tell you that. It's a 4:25 kickoff. Who will sleep Saturday night? Mike and I will be at the link to bring you all the action. Coming up, it's the postgame show with Rob Cherry, Jamal Jackson, and Dan Klecko. Once again, the final score. The Eagles, 37. Washington, 27. They had them all the way. For Mike Quick, this is Merrill Reese saying so long from Landover, Maryland on the PNC Eagles Football Network.